My name is Amy Duval. I'm a visual artist based in Medicine Hat, Alberta. The title of this show is Into Bloom. So my time in Canmore has actually been incredibly informative in many different ways. I was producing this work kind of thinking a lot about the wildflowers that are in bloom right now in Alberta and in Canmore specifically. So trying to think about bringing color into the work to kind of situate it in a more Canmore kind of specific context. So I work with a lot of what I would say is very industrially influenced forms. I think that influence really came from being born and raised in North Vancouver. There was an industrial shipyard there that had this huge preserved hull of this massive ship, and it had been sliced open and left to kind of rot out there for everyone to watch and see. And I was really always just very intrigued by how human and fleshy this ship became with time. It became very human and very body-like to me. And I think that really kind of acted as a diving board, or maybe a catapult more so, into this interest into kind of industrial forms, and how intensely sculptural they are, just as they are. I've also been really interested in exploring more this connection between the mechanic and organic, and to kind of create these forms that are intensely strong and suggestive of strength and metal, but are also very vulnerable because they're ceramic, they're clay, and if they fall on the ground, they break and you can't put them back together. And all of their arms are all simultaneously kind of reaching out to try and touch their neighbor, but yet never really touching each other. With the pandemic happening and having to work on my own practice in such isolation really reinforced the idea, actually, for me, that I make art for myself. It's for me. It's a way for me to understand myself. It's a way for me to try and understand the world around me and what I'm doing in the world. And so I'm really excited for the opportunity to have people come and see my work for the first time in what has been almost over a year with everything. And I'm really hoping that this body of work is going to be a place for people to feel excited and get inspired and have questions and wonder about clay and think about maybe taking a class or getting on the wheel or thinking about what that connection to materiality and making and what that can do for them. I graduated in 2017 with my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from Kwantlen Polytechnic University in Surrey, British Columbia. So that program was a very interdisciplinary fine arts program. So I did a lot of painting, drawing, sculpture, and then in my third year of my BFA, I discovered ceramics. And I just really fell in love with the material. It's so tactile, it's such a tangible, malleable thing. You have to be so present when working with this material, I feel, in a different way. And also I think it really speaks to this very childish impulse where when you're a kid, you just play outside in the mud and in the sandbox all the time, and you just get dirty and you shove things in your face and you explore using your hands in that way. And I think that just really spoke to me again as an adult and kind of opened up a new way of playing. And then I just never looked back after that. So all of the work that is mounted on the wall is all ceramic. It started off as clay and I fired it, and now it is ceramic. So it is all at once strong and also very vulnerable and fragile at the same time. So this show is called Into Bloom, and what I'm exploring here is really that relationship and what it might look like when it kind of bursts into a new system of all these intense mechanic, organic structures that have kind of merged into this marriage with one another and created all these new forms that are all at once filled with strength and vulnerability and color, and that's what I'm trying to explore in this body of work, is kind of capturing that moment.